Okay. All right. I remember where I left off at. Trey, when she wakes up, you know how kids are when they wake up and had her hair all over the place, and I strip her down because she peed everywhere. But, okay. The story of Nebuchadnezzar. Again, remember I kept talking about this? It's about the golden man and the golden city. He thought he was it, right? But he had to go out. He could not. He had to go out as an animal, okay, and eat the berries and eat. He was sent back. Okay, it's just what's going to happen to people. He's got to find the truth, who the true God really is. That what is man-made, and what is the Holy Heavenly Father made. Okay, bingo, that's it. What's handmade, man-made and heavenly. And so Nebuchadnezzar, that's the story. He had to go out and find this out. And for 7 years, he was in the wilderness learning the truth. But when he came back, put his crown on his head, and he said, Daniel's God is God. Pharaoh, Ramses said the same thing. After the parting of the sea and the whole thing, he said, Moses is God. Okay? This is this is what the stories are. Okay, Moses' whole journey. Why? Moses' parents were divorced, okay? And they remarried, right? Why? What does that mean? What is that about, right? Moses was born 6 months and 1 day pregnancy. Why? You know why that is? It's very important because it's a timeline of everything. He was hid for 3 months in the basket, okay, in their house. Why? Well, what's about those 3 months? You have to know all this to understand, to navigate through the waters, the tsunami that's coming, the waters that's coming. You're going to have to navigate it, okay? Because you're not going to know. You're not going to know. Everything is to get us home. Everything. Your northern hemisphere, your southern hemisphere. Your two sides. It starts off with a likeness, first of all. A likeness. Okay? He made Adam. He made man in his likeness. Okay? It's different than what we think. Oh, we just look like him. No. So much higher. So much higher. Okay? This reflection, the sea of glass, it's how the sun, it's the firmament, okay, with the dome thing. All of it. And who is Israel? Really, who are they? What are they? Why were they chosen? Okay? Why? What's the story of Joseph? His brothers. God chose Israel as his special possession, as his special thing. So, therefore, the God of Israel, okay, who is the God of Israel? These are all, again, heavenly stories, heavenly siblings, heavenly, right? Gods, lords, kings. And he's telling that story here by inspiring it through the lives of earthly men, okay? So you have to find what these are, and what they did, and how, who was Jacob, who was Abraham, who was Isaac. So it's But the problem is, the New Testament is what it's gonna start up there. Okay, the Christians, actually everybody, because he gave truth to all 7 of those churches. Have some truth, have part of the truth. They haven't come together. The land that were split at the flood have not come together to make the whole picture, right? And because of pride, because of, that's not right. I know that's bad. Oh, no, that's, we don't come together for the truth. And so, can't have it. Can't get it. Because you can't understand. You only can see it on an earthly level. So, and that's who you go for to answers, okay? You go you to the God above, and yes, he did. There's God on the throne, but there's the God of the world that has to refine our hearts, okay? And then there's somebody who lets him do that, okay? There's this whole thing going on. So you have to know who are the sons of Jacob, what did they do and why are they important? And because the Old Testament is the story, okay? And that's what gets you to navigate through those waters. But so much more. There's so much more. We're not all that, I'm telling you. We are just not all that. We are the offspring. We are the creatures, or the offspring, or the creatures of the creation, I guess. I don't know, but we are not who we think we are in the Bible. We are not. We're not. So, most all of it really truly is angelic. Okay? It's your placement, our placement in waking up. That's why he has earthquakes. He shakes the earth. Who's made of the earth? We are the dust of the earth, okay? He's waking us up. He's waking them up, okay? His church is up, okay? It's your ley lines, it's your fault lines, it's your whole grids of the world, okay? It's why certain ones have certain temples and certain beliefs and blah, blah, because it's the different churches. But it's the earthly understanding, okay? That's why there's such this big old blob of chaos here, okay? So to know the truth, you have to go to heavenly. Again, the daughter was raped. The daughter always represents, okay, the heavenly truth, the heavenly light, the heavenly truth. The daughter was raped, okay? We all know how they talk about the women being raped. And okay, rape back then doesn't mean what it means now. Her light was abducted. She was defiled. Her truth was taken from her, her light, okay, and defiled her, right? And so she in her mind, this is the turning into the harlot, okay? She became a slave, however you want to say it, but this is why the covering, I can't. So the earthly in these 3, underneath this firmament and these realms, okay, that is, they took her light, took her truth, but it was heavenly. They were earthly. They didn't understand it, okay? They could only understand it in their earthly ability, which is opposite of heaven. This is what has been taught and passed down generation per generation. We have no understanding of heavenly terms, heavenly things, nothing. You have to, it takes up your life, okay? You give up the world, you give up everything. And in my eyes, I got new glasses, can't see a thing out of them. I had a bifocals at the bottom. I put bifocals on the side. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to see out the side? And this, nobody can get my eyes right, but it is what it is. It takes a specialist to get my eyes right. And I just get so tired of going to these places that are on my insurance because I'm a disability. And that's okay. I mean, it's totally okay, let me tell you. But they just can't get them right, So these are my new ones. We'll see how long I'll be able to wear them. I'd already take them back because nobody can get my prescription right. Nobody. I'm nearsighted and farsighted. So that's fun putting makeup on. So what we have is we have the heavenly light, the heavenly truth. We just had teachers who, it's the pride, it's the ego. They didn't ask. They did not go to the source in the very beginning. Okay? And so, therefore, this is what we have on earth. Okay? This is what we have on earth. And all the signs that's coming, okay? Well, his signs are not earthly. His signs are heavenly. They are the planets. They are the stars, okay? The stars are the angels, okay? The planets all have to do with the kingdoms and the kings, and it's their retrograde and retrograde and how far, how many, light years away, and how close they are coming to another one, and the constellations, when you go and study them, what they are, okay? What they mean. It's absolutely incredible. And it matches not only the Torah, and all the Hebrew books, okay? It matches the Bible and the lost Gospels. And I will tell you another thing too is they were hidden because they're earthly. I mean, they're heavenly, so they were hidden, okay? And they weren't far before because there was a time that was allowed for understanding to start, okay? That a time for that heavenly understanding, that rain, that heavenly rain to be poured down, for us to have that open heaven where we could understand and get that. But there were conditions, not hard ones. It's a faith thing, not hard ones. But if you doubt yourself, if you are a one that can't trust your heart and can't trust you, that you know that there's no possible way you could know this, that you know that at night when you sleep there's information downloaded that you wake up talking about, and then when you go and you research, okay, sometimes not even knowing where to even start, but he always gives you a breadcrumb to start with. And you go and you find it and you start reading, and it connects and it matches everything so perfectly, and you know that there's no way. There's no way in the world you could have done that. It's just not possible. You know it's truth. If you can't read, then watch movies, okay? Put some biblical movies on. Daniel. You can do the Gospel of John, the Revelation. You can, Ten Commandments. Actually, the Ten Commandments, that's head on and straight on. Now, who would have thunk this one? Is the Charlton Heston one. I mean, you would think that the ones made more recently would be more biblically correct. No. Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston. It couldn't be more clear. It couldn't be more clear at all. But you have to. This is what I was talking about, a pliable heart, okay? Because then once your heart is made pliable, then he can get in there and he can shape it, okay? He can shape it. He can shape your vessel so he can download his truth in you, okay? But if you're not going to believe it, and you're going to doubt, and constantly, you got to be in the game here. You got to be in the race, okay? So, those that are not, saved, cleansed, whatever, that are thrown into the abyss, which we don't even know really truly what the correct word for the abyss is either. They weren't hit. They weren't to be. They were a tool of the blacksmith. They were a tool. They were a spirit manifested to perform for the glory of God, meaning they had a job to do. Okay, now, not to say there wasn't a darkness here and that whatever's going to happen with that, but it's not like we think it is. Okay, it's truly not. Okay, and so, and remember the waters are above us. The waters are above us. Those are the waters that they're talking about. Okay, now, the fire is not a bad thing. Okay, you're not even going to remember it. You know, people aren't going to remember it. He's not going to. It's a cleansing. The fire is to refine. It's a cleansing to cleanse the garments, but it's to, it's a baptism, a fire. Okay, it's a Pentecost. It's a baptism. Okay, but we just don't understand how that whole fire thing goes. Understand that fire. And the ring of fire, that's where everything started. The ring of fire is the beginning of everything. That's why. The ring of fire, it's why we have to watch it, that ring of fire, because that's where it all started. That's where it all started. Just like in, the east to the west, okay? And just like the United States, you had to cross that great divide, right, to the west. Well, I think we got to cross that great divide back. But it's not so wildernessy, There's cities and people and all kinds of stuff. So look and see what Joshua, when he led them, what they had to battle, who they had to battle, because it's going back. So this is your armor, guys. This is your armor. This is your armor. How you gonna know? Because you don't have any of this armor on. Again, Lost Gospels, so good. It's roots, okay? A tree of life, any tree that grows strong, that has good branches, bears good fruit, has roots. The roots are in the dark. The roots are in the dirt. The roots, okay? But they have to dig because it strengthens the tree, right? So when you pull anything up, you have to pull them roots up. This is the pole flip. Again, the pole flip is south to north, north to south. Boom. It's what's up is down, down is up. Jonathan Kleck, it is that whole reverse thing. It is. You just got to go higher to that earthly. You got to get off this, heavenly. You got to get off this earthly thing. You got to go to heavenly now, okay? Because that pole flip is putting the roots at the top, okay? It's where that darkness comes up. But you got to understand what that is. The evening was first. The evening was first. The darkness was first. The night was first. The evening, and then there was dawn. Okay? So, who was first and who wasn't first? But Jesus is both. Okay, I'm telling you, he's both. The left and the right. He is the brothers. He's it. Okay? Go back to the stories. Right when you think you know who somebody is, again, Joseph was sent to Egypt for a reason. Okay? Moses started out, he was sent down the river, pulled from the waters for a reason. Okay? Anybody floating in a basket always represents something that carries food. Food is what? Not something that we eat. Actually, food is our heavenly food. It's heavenly truth. Okay? When you fast, you do not fast from food. You fast from food. Earthly food. Your earthly teachings, your earthly churches, your earthly, whatever is feeding you spiritually, okay, here on earth, you need to fast from. So you can rid the impurities from your body, from your temple, so you can rid all of that dung out and get all of that, everything out, so you can receive, okay, the heavenly truth. It's Mary Magdalene, Jesus, removing, well, they say it's Mary Magdalene, pulling all of the 7 demons out of her, okay? Cleansing her of the demons. Okay, Mary Magdalene represents the church here, because she's really the harlot, because she's clueless, okay? You know what I mean? That's a whole nother video itself. But Mary Magdalene represents his healed bride who sees the truth, who knows the truth. The removal of those demons is the removal of the 7 fruits, the fruits of the Spirit that we receive here when we're baptized in these waters here, okay, and we receive the earthly Holy Spirit, right, for earthly knowledge. He was removing those from her so she could receive. He was cleansing her of those demons, okay, because that's what they become. So he had to empty her in order so she could receive the heavenly ones. And so the book of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, it says that he kissed her on the lips, and it was different, like they were companions, and that she was pregnant with his child, and she took a boat to France, and that's where she was hid, the Holy Grail, blah, 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 blah. You know what that is? Okay. See, you have to understand, that part is going to happen in heaven, okay? It's not earthly. Earthly, we think of it physically. Physically, why? Physical body. No. It's a picture of his bride who sat at his feet and listened to him, who followed him and listened, okay, and was first there at his transformation, who knew, who she was cleansed of all the earthly teaching and received the heavenly, okay? She represents his heavenly bride, the one he married, who was called the harlot, who was called every accusation in the book, okay? And it's what anybody and everybody who's going against and speaking like I do now, the population, is like, oh no, you did not say that, Mary Beth. Oh no, poor Mary Beth. Let's pray for it. You can't believe the comments, okay? It's a parable of Mary Magdalene, what they did to her. And so what it is it is his wife, his bride, who has been cleansed and removed of all the earthly yuck and has received the heavenly child. That she's pregnant. That's what the birth is. Okay, that's what the birth is. Okay, the birth is heavenly truth. Okay, so that child is the daughter. Remember, I told you the daughter is the heavenly truth. And so it's not Mary Magdalene, it's the bride in general, right? That she's going to birth now that heavenly truth, that true daughter, that true light. That's what it is. That's what it is. And Judas too. You have to understand the whole story of Judas. Judas was given the food. Judas is many parables here, but I'm saying by dipping that, Jesus is the one who gave him the bread and gave him the oil. He dipped it in olive oil and the herbs. He ate off his plate. Okay. He gave him that. And that's why Judas did that. And the kiss it's like that spirit went in him, but that kiss in the garden was that coming back, okay? Okay, I'll finish in a little bit. Love you. See you soon. I'll finish as soon as I get done here.